Hello, DoctorBlue here, and welcome to a brand new series I like to call Doctor Who Theories. It's a show in which I basically address an issue or uncertainty from the revival series of Doctor Who, and I basically try to explain what on earth is going on. It could be something subtle, or it could be something obvious. It could be something that's a tiny part of one episode, or it could take up multiple episodes, or a whole series, or multiple series for that matter. It just has to be something that's never properly explained in the programme, which is quite a few things if you think about it. As this is a pilot of sorts, I thought it would only be appropriate to look at an issue that's from the very first episode of the revival series, which is Rose, namely the Ninth Doctor's face, and when on earth he last looked in the mirror. Before I go any further, I should make it fundamentally clear that I do not have an issue with the Ninth Doctor's face, or Christopher Eccleston's for that matter. My issue stems from the following part of the scene in the episode where the Doctor is in Rose's flat.
Rose Tyler. Could have been worse. Look at the ears.
Hopefully it's obvious that this implies that the Doctor has recently regenerated, so I won't patronise you in explaining why this is the case. So this is all fine and good, until later on in the episode, Clive says this to Rose.
This Doctor keeps cropping up all over the place.
Clive then shows Rose pictures of the Doctor in various historic events. So we have the eruption of Krakatoa, at the Kennedy assassination, and with a family who were about to board the Titanic, but the Doctor stops them doing that. So it seems the Ninth Doctor hasn't actually newly regenerated, and has been in this incarnation for a while now, because of the fact he's managed to go to all these events and had his photo taken in all of them, or drawing in the case of the eruption of Krakatoa. This is furthered by a scene in the 50th anniversary special, Day of the Doctor.
How old are you now?
I don't know. I lose track. 1,200 and something, I think, unless I'm lying. I can't remember if I'm lying about my age. That's how old I am.
400 years older than me, and in all that time you never even wondered how many there were.
Doing some very complicated maths, it soon becomes apparent that 1,200-ish minus 400 is in fact 800-ish. So what this means is the War Doctor, at the time of Day of the Doctor, was about 800 years old. Now later on in that same episode, we see the War Doctor regenerate into the Ninth Doctor. So that clearly means the Ninth Doctor was roughly 800 years old when he begun that incarnation. Now, various scenes in Series 1 show that at the time of meeting Rose, the Ninth Doctor was about 900 years old. Take this one, for example.
When you say 900 years,
That's my age.
you're 900 years old.
Yeah.
This means that near enough 100 years passed between the Doctor regenerating and supposedly seeing his new face for the first time. So how on earth did he go all that time without seeing himself in the mirror? This is where my theory comes in, and I must warn you, it's quite sad. I think the simple answer is he chose not to. Let's familiarise ourselves with the events of Day of the Doctor. So, by the end of it, all 13 Doctors have worked together to save Gallifrey, and then right before the War Doctor departs, this exchange occurs.
I won't remember this, will I?
The time streams are out of sync. You can't retain it. No.
So I won't remember that I tried to save Gallifrey rather than burn it.
This means that throughout the 100 or so years the Ninth Doctor had prior to meeting Rose, he didn't remember what truly happened, which is quite sad really. And he didn't even remember the fact that he himself, in that incarnation, helped to save his home planet. Because if you remember the scene at the end of Day of the Doctor, you see, amongst all the clips of all 13 Doctors, you see the Ninth Doctor as well. I highly doubt that his contribution came once Rose was a companion, because theoretically she would remember that he helped save Gallifrey. So it must have happened in the 100 or so years the Ninth Doctor had beforehand. Personally, I think the Ninth Doctor goes on an arc through Series 1, where initially he hates himself, but then by the end of the series he's come to terms with and accepted who he is and what he's done, and that's all thanks to Rose. So it would therefore make sense for him, prior to their meeting, to refuse to look at his reflection because he wouldn't want to come to terms with what he's done based on how bad it is. The fact it's genocide as well, and it's just quite upsetting really. So that's my theory. What about yours? If you've got your own ideas that may differ from mine, please do put them in the comments down below, because I'd love to hear them. I like hearing what other people's thoughts are, as long as you don't criticise me in the process. Alternatively, if you have any issues or uncertainties from a different episode or series, or in fact the same episode, please also put them down below, because I could work that into a future episode. I'm honestly easy, I don't mind what I look at next. I've got a few ideas in mind, but I'd much rather you tell me what you would like to see. And then don't forget to like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this type of video, so I know to make more of them. And that's about it. I've been Dr. Blue. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.